Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to another video. Tomorrow is a very exciting day. It is the giant neighborhood yard sale extravaganza that takes place once a year for 2 days in a neighborhood that is very, very close to our house. And people come from all over the state to come to this massive garage sale. It's like probably 100 different houses all within this small area that are participating in this. They have food trucks and it's a huge event. It's a massive event. And last year I was going to go, but last year it landed on the exact same day that my daughter was born. My wife's water broke that morning that we were gonna go, and needless to say, I never got there. So this year, however, we are going to go, and it is tomorrow. It is May 4th. It'll be May 4th tomorrow, and they have a handy-dandy list of the locations and what everybody is selling, what rough things. A lot of things just say like household items, you know, furniture, clothes, things like that. But I have done a little looking, and there is one house that says Legos. One house that says Legos. So I will definitely be hitting that up first. I think it starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm gonna get up bright and early and I'm gonna head down there. There's some other ones on here that say like, you know, that say like collectible toys and things like that. So, but nothing else that's actually specified as Lego or Legos, but I'm sure that there are probably other ones because there is a lot on this list. So I'm going to be walking around bright and early tomorrow to check that out, and we're going to see what I can get my hands on. Well, good morning, and happy May the 4th to all of my Star Wars enthusiasts out there. It is a very, very rainy morning. It's going to rain for the next hour. I have my rain jacket on. I'm assuming the sales are still going to happen, but it's raining pretty good, and I don't know, maybe this will fend off any of the other people willing to get up at 7:30 on a Saturday morning to go to other people's homes to look for Lego deals in the rain. So we're gonna go to the first house that said they had Lego, and because yeah, that would be the first. That's got to be the first one. So we're gonna head to that now and see if they're open. For one, I see a few people out. Looks pretty dead so far, but I guess we'll find out. All right, well, it's still early yet, but I'm soaked. It's still raining. I think it's starting to ease up a little bit, but it's still raining. And I have stopped at probably 6 or 7, maybe. Again, it's a huge neighborhood. And so I'm kind of doing some driving around, just kind of stopping when I'm seeing stuff, because even though I have like a list, gets a little out of control, and some of the things aren't even open yet. It's still before 9, so some of the things are not even open yet. I saw the place that I was going to stop in the last clip, the first place, the one that said they had Legos. They had a big bucket of, like a big Cheez-It bucket of white and blue bricks. It looked like most of them were Lego, but they were selling it for $40, which felt like a lot of money. They looked nice, but it was just blue and white brick. So nothing super special or crazy, and I think it was priced a little high, I think, for at least my purposes. I hope that they sell it and make their $40. But that felt a little too high priced. So that was a bust. I stopped at another place, and she did have she had a younger daughter, and they were getting rid of a couple of her. One was a Friends set, and another was like a Disney Princess set. And I'm looking through it, and they were selling them for like $5 a bag. And I think Jim from a year ago, yard sale hunting like this, would have bought it. But Jim today left it. I was a little surprised leaving Lego behind, because there was some like base plate. There's some, like decent sized base plates that I could probably use in like a mock or something. But at the same time, I just, it's a theme I'm not interested in, and the resale on some of those just probably isn't worth it. They had them packaged up pretty nicely, but I left it. So, I have not spotted any since. So I'm going to keep driving around. It's still 8:30. So, there's some time yet, but I'll come back when I find some more stuff. I will say, I just pulled up to another spot, and there's a bunch of people standing out front, so I'm gonna go check it out. But I will say, it was pouring rain, but the bargain hunters are out in force. There are people, they got their lists out, they're running around. I never thought I would be one of these people, to be honest with you. I respect the hustle and the grind of bargain hunting and doing stuff like this. And I know that there's probably people like me who are coming out for one giant yard sale, because it is nice. They're all in one area. And there's people with their lists out, they're running from place to place. And there was a guy in front of me. He pulled up behind me. He got out of his car super quick, and he was ahead of me. And I was thinking to myself, what if this guy's looking for Lego and he gets like, the perfect deal ahead of me? Oh no, it's just silliness. But all right, anyway, I want to pull up, but the bargain hunters are out. Well, it's about almost 10 o'clock, and I have probably stopped at 30 garage sales. I didn't film a lot of the rain has let up, which is good, but I didn't film really any of the sort of like going in there. One, it's tricky, and two, I just don't really want to film a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of people in the ones that were active. There's a lot of people around, and I just don't want to be filming people. I like to avoid that when possible. Especially close up like that. I just I feel like I've just become more conscious of that. So I didn't film a lot of that. I did, however, I found something. The last alley I decided to go to before stopping home, because my wife wants to come out a little bit later and do some thrifting probably as well. So I might come back with her a little bit later in the day, and we'll see if there's anything else, because there are more things open now than when I first arrived. So I think that, when I got here at the 8 o'clock, especially considering the rain, there were a lot of people who were like, you know what, I'm just going to wait for a little bit until the rain lets up, which makes sense. But these Lego, like, plastic, like these hard containers, these have got to be, 30, 40 years old. I don't know. I haven't looked them up. But he had two of them. As you can hear, they got bricks in them. He didn't have a ton, but they open up like this, and he just had a bunch of vintage stuff. So just old bricks, doors, bricks, things like this. Some larger, thicker base plates. I haven't gone through all of this yet, but just some odds and ends things, a bunch of old wheels and stuff. But I was thinking, at the very least, like, he has, like stuff like this, like larger, like base plate stuff. There's a couple old trees. It's nothing crazy. Probably not even really super valuable, but I figured for mock building, a lot of that stuff could be used for structure. I can always use more block for like doing structure stuff and, you know, building up hills or mountains or whatever. And I'll go through it and see what's available. But I'm wondering if these I'm wondering if this box, they're in really good condition, really good shape. So I'm kind of wondering if like those might be valuable. Like maybe I could just take out the bricks that I wanted. He was selling each box for $3 a piece, and he said I'll give them both to you for $5. So $5, I'll take it. So yeah, maybe I can resell like those Lego boxes and make my money back because I don't really need those. You know, I think had I had more luck with some of the other places, it kind of felt like, and I hadn't been to this garage sale in a very, very long time. It's probably been like 5 years since we've gone to these garage sales. And so based on sort of like the neighborhood and kind of what I was seeing is it was either a lot of like older houses, older people selling lots of older stuff, or very new parents selling lots of like really young children's stuff. There wasn't a whole lot in between, quite honestly. Okay, Jim, I'm gonna stop you there. This is why editing is important. Because I was so forlorn at the beginning of the day. I did find those $5 things, and that was pretty good, but I was hoping to find more stuff. I ended up going home. I am filming this in the evening, and of the same day. And so we did end up going back. I went back later that afternoon. We hit it about 12:45. We came across this one house, and I was just kind of looking around, and I was, you know, I still kept asking people, like, do you have any Lego? And we came across this house, and I could see there was this kind of like this bin, and this popped out at me. A Lego horse in very good condition, and lovely stickers that I will be taking off. And it was in this woman's free box. She didn't even charge me for it. So I was like, okay, well, at least I got a free horse out of it, right? We got our $5 things, and we got a free horse. I was actually pretty happy. At that point, I was sort of just like reserved to the fact that we're probably not going to find any Lego, and that's okay. You know, not everything is a bust. Well, then we came upon this house, and this young man, 14, 15 years old, had out an entire table of Lego. So I picked up a set. I picked up 79012, which is the Mirkwood Elf Army. This is a Hobbit set from 2013, I believe. And so he was selling sets. He had all these instruction manuals, and he was selling the sets, but then he was also selling the minifigures separately. He just kind of had like a bin of figures and accessories and horses and just random stuff. Like you could see, like he literally took his collection and brought it outside. It was a little confusing and convoluted how he had it set up, quite honestly, but he seemed to be having fun selling all of his stuff. So, but anyway, so he had these instructions, and so I asked him how much for this instructions, or how much for this set, and he said, I'll give it to you for $25. And I was like, okay, but you have to pick the minifigures out of the bin. So I started to sort through the bin, because when I looked on Bricklink, you know, if this set is complete, you know, it can be upwards of $80+. So I was like, okay, well, you know, that's a pretty good deal if I don't want to keep this set, or maybe I just want to keep it. I don't know. But either way, it's a good deal. So I started to pull some of the minifigures, and it was just really, really complicated. Some of them didn't have legs, and some of them, you know, it was kind of a mess. So I pulled as much as possible, and then he had the sets in his house, and he brought them out. So after I put together a cup of what I thought was what I needed for the most part, from what I could gather, he ran inside and he picked up the remaining set, and then I just left and I paid him. I ended up paying him $25 for the figs and even a couple other figs as well. And then I left. And then we went to a couple other garage sales, but I was getting in my head, I was like, I need to go back and buy more minifigures off of this guy. I told my wife, I was like, I got to go back and see if I can buy the rest of those minifigs or what he'll take for the rest of those minifigs. So I went back, I don't know, 10 minutes later, and I went up to him and he's like, hey, you came back. I go, yeah. I go, how much for the rest of this entire thing? Like, for the rest of these minifigures, this entire box? I really wish I had a picture of it. It was probably like 120 figs plus accessories, if I had to guess, roughly. And he said, well, I'm not sure I want to sell all of it, but if you want to take half, you can fill up these cups. He had these like cups that you could fill up. And he goes, if you want to take half, I'll give it to you for $60. And I was like, you have yourself a deal, my friend. And so I took a cup and I started loading figs up. Again, at this point, there were even more people. I'm like trying to scavenge every torso and legs that looked valuable. I grabbed every castle fig I could, that I saw at least. And I'm rummaging around, I'm grabbing accessories and all this stuff. So I gave him $60 for it. And so now that that's all out of the way, let's take a look at what we got. Okay, so before we get started, this is the instruction manual again for the set. And I just grabbed, everything is cleaned here. I have everything cleaned and all that kind of stuff. So, and I have also gone through the parts list on Bricklink, and I figured out to make sure if I had everything. So I am missing, of this set, I'm missing 11 lots. I'm missing the fence pieces and a saddle. I'm missing legs, and I'm just kind of missing some random stuff, which totally makes sense. I'm missing one of these shields. I'm missing a couple of these heads. I apparently don't have 2 olive green plant leaves, which is kind of crazy. And then I'm also missing this guy's thing, which kind of sucks because this is like $4 on its own. But honestly, I was looking for it in the thing because I could see it on the instruction manual. I could see it right there, and I could not see it in that bin. So I was also missing another torso and then a couple other things. So I am missing a little bit, some of those lots, but I started to price it out, and it looks like if I wanted to get all of them, it would cost me maybe like $27, maybe let's just call it $30, to pick up the remaining parts, which kind of sucks, but again, I only paid $25 for it, so even if I wanted to complete this set, I can, if I wanted to resell it, I could resell it for at least $80, so I'd still make money on it, plus all of the other figs I got. So let's take a look at those. Here is a base plate of all of the figs I got. And here, including this guy, that is 56 torsos. Now, I'm missing some hands from a couple of them, but that's not super, like, I have extra hands and things, so I don't think that's a concern. I don't really know where some of these come from. I mean, obviously, we have some that are, like, castle figs. I definitely grabbed those because, yeah, those are ones that, of course, I'm interested in. I found a bunch of these of, like, the bull warrior ones. I found 4 of those. Some Ninjago, some Iron Mans, there's some Marvels in here. He has some like old figs, like this is one, an old torso from like a pirate thing. I'm just gonna kind of scan over this and you can kind of see, I think that's Bilbo. You can kind of see what I have here. I figured this was kind of the best way to do it. If you all wanted to like, pause the video and see what I have and whatever. But yeah, 56 torsos, and I would assume similar-ish with the legs that I have, but again, a lot of the figures were kind of torn apart, and so I was just sort of grabbing what I could. But This guy is Azog from the Hobbit films. I can't remember which one. Desolation of Smog? I'm not actually sure. I actually, was he in multiple films? No, I don't even know. But this guy here, I pulled him, and he will sell. So the last 6 months of sales used, the average price is $30 for this guy. And that's not including like any accessories. I don't know if he comes with any accessories. He only appeared in 2 sets. So this guy is a $30 fig, and he's pretty cool, but I'm probably going to sell him for the $30 to make up for the spare parts that I need for that Hobbit set. And then, so, the $25 for this, I'm pretty certain that I have gotten my money's worth, because I haven't even started to look up a lot of these figs. I'm definitely keeping all of the castle ones, but I'm going to see if I can put together some of these other ones and see if any of them are valuable. There's another castle fig as well, but yeah, I'm definitely keeping all of those. I'll probably keep the pirate one as well. I decided to actually spend a little bit of time. So this is a couple days later, but I decided to take a little bit of time and actually go through all of the figs and kind of show you in this video. So the Hobbit set, I talked about that in the last clip, and where I'm at with that, I have stowed away all the castle figs that I sort of wanted to keep, and use for like our mocks and stuff that I was talking about. And so on this plate is all of the incomplete figures. Quite honestly, I kind of feel like I did sort of a bad job, but in hindsight, again, like I said, it was crazy and chaotic, and it kind of just became a grab at that point because of how it was all set up. So this is all like the extra spare parts. Right here, this is a base plate full of legs that are extra, and so these are legs from Woody. I have a couple of them, but I don't have a torso or anything. I have these legs and all of these legs, but they don't actually go to any of these torsos. So all of the torsos and figs that you're seeing here are technically incomplete, but they are all of the pieces that I have for them. So unfortunately, like, some of the closest ones I have is this Iron Man fig is pretty close. I just need the front plate to his helmet. This guy's pretty close as well. This guy's fairly close, but I don't have his like Frankenstein head. There's others I'm missing legs or hair pieces. Yeah, unfortunately I'm missing the legs for this orc here. And yeah, so it's, again, it became sort of a random thing. So I don't even know where these legs go to. The kind of bummer of it is that someone else was probably buying up all of these figs, and they're missing the other parts from that same collection, because I guess he could have had some misplaced. There was a little bit of, I'm not sure he knew exactly what was all in there. So it's possible that some of it is lost, but I think what ended up happening is that because of how it was set up, and the figs kind of not being together and orderly, is that everybody just sort of ended up with a bunch of minifigure parts, but not actually complete figs. So, what are you gonna do? Again, it was there, and I'm glad we got it. So I do have a bunch that are complete. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 figs that are actually complete of the ones I got. So that's pretty good. And then these are all just like extra accessories and heads that apparently don't go to any of these things that I've gotten here. Some of these might be worth completing, some might not. Like this Iron Man fig, if I get his mask, which is gonna be probably like $2 or $3, $4 on Bricklink, he sells for about like $12. I don't know if that's worth it. I'll probably just end up holding on to some of these for a little while, but a couple are very valuable. So this Lord of the Rings fig, again, he goes for a pretty good price. And then I also have Hela from the Marvel. That's one of the enemies of Thor. She also goes for like 25, 30 bucks. So that's pretty good for those two. And then this is just an Ninjago fig, but I'm gonna kind of probably end up bagging up some of these and possibly selling some of the more collectible or I don't know, valuable figures. I'm probably gonna end up keeping this one. This was a CMF, like a Lion Knight princess. I'm probably gonna end up keeping her, but she is complete. But yeah, some of these are collectible minifigures. Some of them are from Ninjago, some Marvel, but yeah, you know, it was kind of frustrating. I was going through and I was like, you know what? I feel like I saw that head, or I should have looked for that, or, you know, whatever. Like, I have Gandalf's torso here. I have his hat. I have his beard. But I don't have his head. And I don't have his legs. Or no, I don't have his head or his cape. And I thought I had his cape because this cape was on him. However, when I looked up this minifig, this is like one of the paper versions of the cape. And the minifig version that this is comes with a spongy cape, which is not this one. So I don't know. It's not the end of the world. It's been fun to like go through, and I still got a really good deal, and I got a bunch of, you know, like the Knights figures that are really, really awesome and will be great in our mock. So I am not upset by this purchase at all. I am a little frustrated that maybe I probably could have spent a little bit more time, or I don't know. It was so crazy, and who knows if some of that stuff was even in there. Again, it was just figs were torn apart, and anyway, I'm rambling now. But yeah, so that's kind of the haul, and that's what I ended up getting with it, plus obviously the Hobbit set. So I feel pretty good about it. So yeah, I feel really great about spending $85, and I am very certain that not only will I get my money back by maybe selling off some of these figs or this set or whatever, but I get to build the set, enjoy it, put it together, do some of this, you know, parting out and bricklink stuff and looking up pieces. Like, it's all so much fun. It's so much fun, and I'm just really enjoying it. So like, quite honestly, it's not a huge deal of what I make. It's more about, it's the thrill of the hunt is so cool and so much fun. So I'm just really, really enjoying it, and it's just been a lot of fun. So I'm planning to do some more thrifting and more yard sale stuff this summer. There's a ton of other like community yard sales that happen on different weekends, and maybe I'll go check those out. I don't know if I'll, you know, do a bunch or whatever, but see what they have. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And remember, we'll do that build in another video. And yeah, we're gonna keep plugging away at this crazy hobby that is just so dang fun. So everybody, thank you again. I really do appreciate you watching, and let me know if there was anything that you spotted in the comment section, any of these figs that jumped out at you or whatever. I'm going to start to look up all of them, but I would certainly appreciate, you know, some more help, because there's still so many themes, so many Lego themes that I am unfamiliar with, that I'm still learning. And that's the other cool part about this. I'm rambling now, but it's the other cool part about this is like, there's so much that I am still learning about Lego itself and all of these themes that I don't necessarily want to collect, but I still find it interesting and fun and cool to like discover all these different minifigs and parts and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a research project too. But okay, everybody, I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, until next time, keep on building. Jim